chat. Hello everybody, sorry about the silence there right at the beginning. If you've seen, as you can hear, if you've seen in our Discord chat, I have the little Nurgling with me today. He's currently a little bit fussy. I'm going to quickly soothe him and I'll be back in just 2 seconds. Enjoy the music whilst I wait to start. Hopefully I'll be back very, very soon. Okay, I think we're okay for now. So, as you just heard from that little introduction, the baby Nurgling is with me today. He had his vaccinations yesterday. He's still a bit under the weather, and the only way he's kind of finding comfort is attached to my person. But I also still want to stream today. So if for whatever reason he starts to fuss, you will suddenly see I go mute, and you will suddenly see this screen. If you see this screen, I will try and be back as quick as possible. If for whatever reason he's obviously extremely unsettled, I'll jump back in and tell you guys I'm ending the stream. But hopefully it doesn't come to that, and hopefully he's easy to settle. But as you can see from the description, I am finishing off Azreal today. I'll quickly start trying to finish him off. We'll see how far I get. This is where we got to with Azreal. He's now fully finished and highlighted, which just quickly focus that on the screen if we can. Put my hand behind it. There we go. He's highlighted and detailed and looks very, very cool. I'm very, very proud of how he turned out. He just needs a last varnish just to finish him off. But I'll do that once I've finished everything, and I'll varnish everything at the exact same time. Today we are going to be working on his little friend, the Watcher, and hopefully then also starting and maybe finishing his backpack / jump pack, jetpack thing, whatever you want to call it. We'll be hopefully starting and finishing that, but we'll see how far we get. Really depends on the baby Nurgling and how well he behaves himself. So we shall have to wait and see. But for now, let's get back into the Watcher here. As you can see from how far away he is on screen, he's actually very, very tiny. But as they're not on a stand, I can't really lift him up and keep him there and find all the paints I need. So just look at this tiny little dot for a minute. It just kind of shows you just how small these guys really are. What I did last time is I mixed Doom Bowl Brown with some Corn Red. So I'm going to be doing that again now. Evening Signed, hello. How are you doing? As you may have seen in our Discord signed, I have the baby Nurgling with me today. So if you hear cooing, that's fine. But obviously if he suddenly starts to scream or get upset, I will, oh my god, baby. Yes, I do indeed have baby with me today. So if you hear cooing or anything like that, that is why. If he starts to really get distressed, as I was just saying, I'll put up this screen here and hopefully soothe him and be right back. But if for whatever reason he becomes extremely unsettled, then I will end the stream. But I wanted to still stream today even with the wee man with us. So hopefully he's a team player and behaves himself. He's kind of sleepy. He's kind of fighting sleep, so he's a little bit whingy because he's fighting sleep. So I may just be periodically stopping just for the sake of soothing him to go to sleep. So anybody who is kind of watching who isn't in the chat, that's completely fine. Hello, you're more than welcome here. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. We have a lot of fun here. We stream most days. If for every reason I'm not going to stream, then I will. Baby's first painting session, indeed. Well, first live painting session, that's for sure. For any updates on up-to-date streams, you can find it in our Discord, which you will find in the description down below. Please join our Discord. We have a lovely time over there. We have a lot of fun. So if you want to join us, we'd be more than happy to have you there. It'd be lovely to see you guys, actually. If you guys could also like this video to please the algorithm gods, that would be fantastic. And yeah, let's get into the video, or the stream, I should say. So, like I said, we're going to be mixing these two colours, Doomball Brown and Corn Red. This is going to be a little bit harder, obviously, because like I said, I do have the wee man attached to me. So if for whatever reason I'm trying to do things one-handed, that is why. But, you know, we'll adapt and overcome, hopefully. But yeah, this is completely dependent on how well the wee man does. But since he had his vaccination yesterday, he also had a live vaccine. Which with anybody who's got like a bad immune system, it's not good to be around it. So, and also because he's obviously had a vaccine, he's a bit fussier than normal. And that really would not be fair to Mr. Nerd, aka Rothmer. So, for the sake of the stream, he's with me today. Okie dokie. Sorry about that. As I said, at the moment he's currently fighting sleep, so every now and then he's just letting out these like little noises of protest, and I just kind of have to soothe him for a minute. Hopefully he won't fight it for long, and we'll just be able to paint for the rest of the stream uninterrupted, but, you know, it's completely dependent on him and what he decides. It's his world, we're just kind of living in it. So, hopefully anybody who's new who's watching this isn't normally what I do. I don't normally have a wee baby attached to me, but it's a new challenge. Maybe that should be this month's challenge video. Try and paint with a baby attached to you, but then the reality is I've been doing that more or less since he's been born. So it wouldn't be much of a challenge for me, but it would be a challenge for Mr. Nerd. So, both because he's very incredibly unsettled around Mr. Nerd at the moment, just because he's not the primary parent. He's like, you're not mum, I'm not interested. And also because Mr. Ned isn't used to having to wear a baby. He's not used to having to baby carry. So it would be interesting, that's for sure. But how are you signed? How are you doing? That would be a challenge. It would be a challenge. It is already a challenge when I do my videos to like keep everything in focus and soothe him. It's been times where you can kind of see the figure like doing this motion, and it's because I'm like bouncing the baby whilst I'm like sat down trying to paint, trying to soothe him without having to stop recording. And yeah, it is a challenge. Like I said, he demands what he demands when he demands it, and as mum, my job is to give it to him. But anybody who's going to be watching this back later, they're going to have a fun time just seeing the numerous times that I put up that "be right back, tending to baby nurgling" screen. There might be a few new subscribers who are like, who is baby nurgling? Hello guys. If I jump in and out at the moment, I'm very sorry. It's just because the wee man is really desperately trying to fight his sleep. Back again. He seems to have settled for now. As I was saying, like, he's really fighting his sleep, so every now and then he'll be like closing his eyes, really peaceful, and then all of a sudden he's just screaming at me. So hopefully that won't continue for much longer and he will just surrender to sleep and, you know, realise it's not a bad thing. But I do apologise for the fact that it's very stop and start. It's not the smoothest start with a stream, and obviously it's not the most traditional start to a stream anyway, having a baby attached to you whilst you stream. But hopefully we'll persevere. Like I said, if he does get to the point where he's just not settling and it's constant, I will just end the stream and then explain afterwards why I've had to end it. Not that it probably needs much explanation. If I have a crying newborn and that's the last thing people hear, but people will probably assume it's because I have a crying newborn. But, you know, we'll try our best to continue streaming today with the wee one in tow. Hopefully he'll be a good team player for the rest of the stream and actually let me stream. But Krytor, let me just quickly show you Azzy again. Oh, it's fine, we understand. I know you guys do. You're very, 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 very good about that, and I really appreciate you guys being so kind. New mum life is hard, but we work with it. But here is your Azreal, Krytor. I hope you are liking how he looks. It's a combination of 3 styles of the, obviously the one I did for my 40k Lion. It's also obviously the traditional Azreal as we know it. And then you also have like the Deathwing Knight combined. So I did all 3 styles and kind of combined it into one figure. But he's, if I can focus him. He is really, really cool. Love those highlights. I'm really glad that you like it so much. It's really, really fun. I've really enjoyed painting this, combining the 3 styles together. Like, I love the red highlights, the green highlights around the edge. The green highlights on his face are really, really cool. I will be doing something very similar for your little watcher guy. And I'll be doing similar highlights again on his back piece. So it all obviously tied together. But I hope you are liking the finished product of Azzy. He will be varnished before he, like, once he's on the base, once everything's put together, he will be varnished so that none of the paint rubs off. But I do hope you like him. He's been really fun to paint. But let's get on to your Watcher boy. Your Watcher is going to be painted in the green highlights in particular. That's great. It's great. I'm so happy you really like it. The Watcher is going to be painted more or less exactly the same as my Watchers on the base of my 40k Lion here. As you can see, I did the same thing with the green highlights on 40k Lion as I did on yours. I just made them slightly brighter because I wanted to incorporate more of the Azreal style from Citadel apps. So I did a combination of the two. But I'll be doing your Watcher in the same style as the Watchers on my base, except yours is just ever so slightly brighter because I've mixed, instead of adding like a brown, I've mixed red and brown together, just because I feel like colour-wise, once I add the shade paints, maybe it wants to focus, he'll look really good next to Azreal as I've done him, so it'll tie in quite nicely. Obviously, if there's anything you want me to add, any colours you want me to add, Krytor, just let me know, obviously, as we're painting, and I'm more than happy to do that. But those green highlights, I'm also going to do that on his scabbard here that he's that is in the hands of the Watcher. So everything's going to tie together quite nicely. But the Watchers, or as Sign puts them, little itty bitties, are incredibly cute. So it's quite fun to paint these little guys. But how have you guys been? I know it's been like a couple of days. Like I said, I had some family round over the weekend. And then the wee man had his vaccinations and was really, really unsettled last night. Was not a good night's sleep at all. But so I apologise for that interruption to like the regular streaming. But of course, as we discussed last night, obviously family comes first. And in that situation, I don't think anybody would have liked to have sat around hearing a screaming newborn, because he really was inconsolable yesterday, bless him. So, even more so than he is today. Because yesterday everything was fresh, and yeah, it was really unpleasant. He was, like, he actually forgot about the injection really, really quickly. I did not. I cried more than he did. But, yeah, obviously he was just feeling the effects of it. He was feeling a little bit, obviously, run down as a result of the injection and needed the comfort. Family does come first. We are in ARC as usual, so slow replies. Sorry, no worries at all, Krytor. Hopefully things get easier. I really hope so. Like, I think the worst of it was definitely yesterday. I'm assembling another book nook with many small pieces. Oh dear. That sounds stressful, signed. Opposite of a relaxing evening, in my opinion. Like, I know I'm painting an itty bitty, but I feel like a book nook would be more stressful than an itty bitty. Speaking of which, I'm going to quickly just lower my camera a bit more so you guys can see him a little bit easier without me having to pick him up so high. So, there's the itty bitty right now. He's just a little guy. I might have to zoom in and out depending on what I'm showing you, but for the sake of the itty bitty, I will do that. Now for his scabbard. So his sword is mostly done in silver. Oh. My camera just turned off. Bear with me 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. My camera decided to turn off. I'll be right back with some lots of its technical issue. Okay, that should fix the issue now. My camera just decided to randomly turn off for some reason. I don't know why I did that. But we should be fine again now. Hey, San, I can see you again now. Yes, I'm somehow shadow banned. Remember, Krytor? You are like somehow banished to like the soup dimension, and I don't know why. Right, as I was just talking about the scabbard before my camera decided to rudely turn off. Hopefully it doesn't do that again, because that was a bit frustrating. I'm looking at colours. And for this, I want to use that gold that you really liked so much last time, Krytor, without knocking anybody over. I'm going to use Auric Armor Gold, and I'm going to use some black, I think, mostly for that. And then I can go around the outside with the green highlight to like bring in that green into this little guy. Because I feel like the green will kind of really tie it together. Yeah, somehow me neither. Maybe I'm part of the Alpha Legion. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe something mysterious is going on. Maybe you have another purpose entirely signed. Or maybe, like I said, you're just so special you deserve a chat to yourself. And everyone else has to be invited in. Just grabbing my black paint. Wherever that is hiding from me. Has everybody had a good day today? There we go. My Abaddon Black decided to be as far away from me as humanly possible, though. But it's here. So for the scabbard, it will be Abaddon Black and Auric Armor Gold for the top, and I will use the silver highlight that I used before, which is Runefang Steel, to highlight over the gold, because it will actually work quite nicely. I've done it on the for the gold details on his belt. Lots of focus, as you can see there. It just looks really good, so I will be doing that. I'm just going to zoom out ever so slightly so I can paint this without having to worry about it zoom being too blurry. But yes, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to focus on the scabbard now whilst the rest of our watcher dries, our itty bitty. But yeah, I hope everybody's had like a good day today. I've been awake since 2 AM because like I said, last night was a rough one. I currently have an energy drink next to me keeping me fueled. It's actually keeping me alive at this point, I think, because I just need the energy even to do basic stuff right now. But yesterday, like, he was kind of okay, and then it got to, at first it was really unsettled for like a good hour and a half, nearly 2 hours, when I was deciding whether or not I was going to stream yesterday, and he was inconsolable, and I was like, right, the smart decision would be not to stream, just to kind of focus on him, which is what he ended up doing. And then about halfway through the time that I would normally be streaming, he was like, hadn't made noise, and I was like, oh, maybe I made the wrong call there. And then, like, almost as soon as I thought that, he just started screaming, and he then proceeded to scream for about 3 hours straight. So in the end, it was not the wrong decision. It was 100% the right decision. But it just goes to show, like, when they wake up, they are, like, unpredictable, and you just don't know what you're going to get. In my case, what I got was a very irritable baby. And the thing about, like, the vaccine stuff is, like, all babies are going to react differently to it. Like, some babies will just chill and sleep the entire time. Some will act like nothing's happened at all, and some might get really, really sick. So it just depends. And some have no side effects at all whatsoever. And he was just sore on his legs where he had his vaccine. and he was extra clingy to me, which is, you know, not a massive change to normal. But I think leaving him to Mr. Nerd yesterday would have been cruel and unusual punishment to both Wee Man and to Mr. Nerd. So for that purpose, it was like, yeah, no, something has to give, and in this case, it's going to have to be the stream, so I can be mum. But he screamed from about 8 o'clock till 10, and then he was just wide awake till 11, where he finally eventually dropped off. I then fell asleep, woke up at 12, and then went to bed till 2. So in total, I've had 3 hours of sleep? Yeah, something like that. So, yeah, sleep is a bit of an unusual construct to me today. But fingers crossed, he's more settled today. Annoyingly, the vaccination Nurgling was given was a live vaccine, so I can't have him. Sorry, chat. Yeah, that's why Mr. Nerd cannot have him at the moment. It's really bad for people who have any form of like immunocompromising condition. So because of that, he just has to be really, really extra cautious. So at the moment, in addition to Mr. Nerd not being able to have him, it's entirely more or less Mrs. Nerd solo parenting, because I can't ask Mr. Nerd for much help in regard to the wee man for his health. So, but fingers crossed, over the next few days that'll be fine. But it's essentially, he could be quote unquote infectious with this live vaccine for up to a week, at most up to 10 days. So the next few streams could be interesting. Live vaccine, what? So they have 3 vaccines in total. A live vaccine just means it contains like a live strain of the vaccine. So it's kind of, it goes into the body and provides the body with like the antibodies. The body then fights. So it's a weakened form of the virus or bacterium to trigger a strong, long-lasting immune response. That's what it does. So it's basically encouraging his body to fight off what's been given to him naturally, so that he builds the immune system to it. And so far, he's doing really, really well. He hasn't had any side effects to it. So I think as it currently stands, his little body is fighting it off just fine. But yeah, that's what a live vaccine is, signed. You learn something new every day. You do. They also do it for animals as well, signed. So a lot of like veterinarian places are now experimenting with using live vaccine to help animals. So live vaccines becoming like more common now. But yeah. But the only negative is, like I was explaining, if you have any form of like immunocompromising condition, so any form of like an autoimmune disease, that naturally weakens the body, you are more at risk of like, you're not guaranteed to catch anything, but it could just cause you some side effects. It's like highly recommended, like if someone is receiving like cancer treatment or anything like that. They can hold baby, they can feed baby, they can do all that stuff. They just can't change baby. So that's the only thing that they can't do. But like I said, the baby is not settled with Mr. Nerd really, so it wouldn't make much sense for me to give the wee man to Mr. Nerd just to hold him, because it will probably just unsettle both of them. So it makes sense for me more or less to just do it on my own right now, and then hopefully when this kind of passes and he's back in like the safe area of like dealing with it, and the vaccine's like okay to kind of go back into the arms of Mr. Nerd, he will, and at that point I can stream. But the truth is, by that point, Mr. Nerd will be back at work. So who knows, we might find our rhythm with this, and we might be able to find a way to record and stream and all that stuff with the wee man in tow. And of course, if it does work, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll figure it out as we go. The whole thing's a learning curve for you guys and for me. So, because let's be honest, like I said, I'm a first-time mum and I have no clue what I'm doing. So this is all new to me. So it's all trial and error. And if it works, amazing. But we shall have to see. Just decanting some auric armour here, ready for the top part of this sword. But yeah, it's definitely a challenge, that's for sure. Because once this is over, I've got some stuff to do on tomorrow's video tutorial. It required me using some Diorama FX thick mud. So I've more or less been spending a lot of today like waiting for that to dry before I could do anything else, because I didn't want to disturb what I've already done before I move on to next steps. So there is that beautiful auric armour. The black's going to need another coat anyway, so I'm not too worried about that being patchy right now. And I'm going to do the same with the gold and do another layer, just to make sure it's fully covered. No problem, because this guy is like so tiny. I'm having to like really focus to make sure the camera stays in focus. So even when I'm painting, I'm like looking at the screen just to make sure that it's in focus the entire time. The itty bitties are so cute. They're so much fun to paint as well because they're just so tiny. But the perk of them being so small is that I can get them started and finished more or less in the same day. So he's going to be quite fun to do. Okay, next I'm going to quickly grab some Rakarth flesh. And the rack flash is going to be used to do the trim here. And I'm probably going to do this little bag and obviously the base of this sword using auric armor as well. I'm going to go with auric armor first, and then once I've done all the pieces with auric armor, I'll go in and do the rack flesh. For now, the wee one has finally surrendered to sleep. So, right now, he's peaceful. Was work okay for you today, Signed? Oh good, it is indeed good, yes. It's also a nice change, because normally, at this time, like I said, normally he is with Mr. Nerd, and normally he's quite distressed, so it's quite nice to not hear anything. Sorry, missed the vaccine bit. Mr. Nerd and the baby all okay. So baby and Mr. Nerd are both completely fine. Baby just had to have a live vaccine, which for context is again like a part of a vaccine. It's like a dormant part of the vaccine that is given to a person to kind of encourage the immune system to fight it off naturally and develop a strong immune system. Mr. Nerd has a compromised immune system because he has an autoimmune disease. So because of that, Mr. Nerd is limited to what he can and cannot do for the wee one at the moment, just for his health and his safety. So everyone is completely fine, and it's the main reason why the wee one is with me today, because Mr. Nerd can't take him in case he has to change a nappy, which is the one thing he really can't do, because the live vaccine obviously passes through baby. So it's the one thing he cannot do. But everyone is fine. Everyone is doing okay. Thank you for checking, but everyone is okay, Krytor. Everything will be fine. It just means it'll be a bit more of a challenge for the next week or so. So it will definitely be an interesting experience painting with the wee one attached and streaming. Because I've painted with him attached to me before, but I can cut a video if he starts to stress. In a stream, it's a bit more difficult. Work was okay. Getting stuff ready for payday. Ooh, getting anything nice for payday signed? That must be hard on you all. It is, in the sense that it means now for the next like 2 hours, in addition to obviously painting, I'm also going to be very vigilant of the wee one, because like in context, like my desk is obviously here and table's here, and like baby is like right here, like table's here, baby's here, like he's in my lap whilst I'm painting. Well, he's attached to me, he's in a sling. But it definitely makes it a bit more of a challenge, because if he starts to fuss, my hands suddenly have to become occupied with him rather than the tiny little creatures like the Watcher. But again, like it's great. It's really great to have people like yourselves being really, really patient with us whilst we are doing this, because it's a challenge. Having a baby in general is a challenge. Trying to stream with the baby is definitely a whole new challenge. But right now he's asleep, so I wanted to splurge on some alchemy gothic jewelry. Ooh. Now I'm very interested, signed. Very. You'll have to send me photos. I'm in that mindset where I don't know if 2026 is going to be the year of like tattoos or piercings. It's going to be one or the other guaranteed. I just don't know what. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But I haven't had like a piercing in... Actually, no, that's a lie. I had a piercing the end of last year because I had my nose pierced. Beginning of last year, sorry. So, but prior to that, I don't think I'd had a piercing in like close to 10 years. I've like had tattoos in the meantime. But 26 will be the year of no money for Mr. Nerd. No money at all. Mum told me to mind my impulsive spending. I'm like, nah. It depends on what you're spending it on. Like, you can call it impulsive, but if you're pretty certain you want it and you've thought about it, I wouldn't exactly call that impulsive. Might be me playing devil's advocate there, but I wouldn't call that impulsive. I would say that's thought out. But I had like a conversation with my best friend, and we were talking about piercings and tattoos and stuff earlier on. But I've since sent her a message, and she's like, 2026 will be the year where you become the cool mum. Like, you're not just mum, you become the cool mum. Like, with all like the tattoos and the piercings and stuff. And I'm like, I can do that. I can be the cool mum. I think. I've been eyeballing certain pieces for a while now. Yeah, that's not impulsive at that point, signed. If you've been eyeballing them for a while, I would say you probably want them. I would never say need, because obviously when it comes to anything fashion-based, it's not a need, it's a want. But if you've been eyeballing them for a while and you haven't gone off them, I would say get them. But that's just me. As a retail worker, my best advice is if you're unsure about something, put it back. And if you're still thinking about it 24 hours later, just 24 hours later, then go get it. So you've been eyeballing it for a while, I would say it's definitely worth your purchase. And I know how you feel at your earrings. You paint Warhammer, you're already a cool mum. Thank you, signed. It just means I'll be the cool mum who paints Warhammer, has lots of tattoos, and has lots of piercings. I'll have all of the cool mum traits. Not that he's, you know, old enough to know what that means yet, but, you know, I will know. I want to go back to over 400 pairs and counting. It's impressive. Your collection is very, very impressive, signed. Indeed. I don't wear a lot of jewellery anymore. Like, I've got my wedding rings and my necklace, which I like change periodically. I have like 4 necklaces that I change between. I will sometimes wear earrings, and then if I do, I tend to put them in and like leave them in for like a couple weeks. They're like normal studs normally. But I definitely think it's worth like expanding my collection a little bit. I just don't know what I would spend it on, what I would buy. But I do love like eclectic gothic jewellery. Like, I want to get like a padlock necklace, which I think would be pretty cool. And a few other things that I definitely want to get. It's just a case of where to buy them from, really. Decisions. So this is where we're at right now with our Watcher Boy. Over here. So instead of base coat, I'm just going to go ahead and redo the black, just so that is not as more opaque and less sheer. And I'm going to do his keys and his belt. Oh, the Alchemy Gothic is something for you too. Absolutely. I will need it. You just have to send me the link. I think you've probably sent me the link before, but you'll have to send it to me again, because that definitely sounds like my cup of tea. 100%. I just want like a few cool pieces of jewellery. Ooh. Once a long time ago. Yeah, it was a very long time ago. Back when you and I only knew each other through Rothmer's channel. And not through Nerdy Miniatures. Nerdy Miniatures was just like a thought in the ether at that point. We hadn't even started collecting Warhammer at that point, and now look where we are. Thank you. Signed, I appreciate that. Oh yes, in those days when you and I would only really connect through Rothmer's channel, the odd private message talking about jewellery and cats, and where you and I would be creeped out by Mr. Nerd's inability to be scared by horror games and horror anything. Those were the old days. We're talking what? At this point, I don't even know how old Mr. Nerd's channel is now. Good, probably what, 2 years? Maybe more? I don't have to recall off the top of my head. But I know Mr. Nerd's channel is definitely a few years. It's older than mine. But yeah, those were definitely the old days of our budding relationship. Feels longer. It definitely feels longer. I'm not entirely sure. Now I'm curious. So his first video came out 2 years ago, so it's 2 years. You started watching when he uploaded his Space Marine 1 playthrough. Jesus. Definitely a long time ago now then. But yeah, the Rothmer's channel is 2 years old.
No, it's not.
That was when you first uploaded last video according to your channel. How old is your channel, Mr. Nerd?
3 years?
3 years?
Pushing 4.
Pushing 4? Okay. Was a while then.
August 2023.
August 2023, there we go. My perception of time is bad. 2023, so yeah, it's 3 years pushing 4. To be honest, my perception of time now is not that great, considering I don't know what's going on most of the time. But yeah, it's definitely been a while. The wee one was stirring for a second there, so I just had to quickly look down at him and make sure he wasn't gonna start freaking out on me. Ah, so it is longer. Yes. Closer to 3 years, nearly August of this year. So, yeah. 3 years. Which is wild. I think it's been that long. Welcome to my world. I never know what's going on. Mine's a combination of general cluelessness and sleep deprivation. So it's a unique kind of confusion. And mum brain. Brain fog is a real thing. really real thing. Right, whilst little Watcher Boy dries, I'm going to put him off to one side. We're going to start on his pack here. Which for this we're going to go in with the same colour combination that we did for his armour. So, I'm going to need my Caliban Green. Where have you decided to hide from me? There it is. So, I'm using Caliban Green and Abaddon Black mixed together to make the black-green mix that I used on the armour of Azreal. But yeah, Caliban Green and Abaddon Black. Never go wrong with these two. Looks about right for colour. And then for highlights, I will go in with those bright colours like the Warp Stone and the Moot Green. So it'll be quite a nice combination. All in all. Oh goodness. The wee man is awake. He's just kind of staring at me at the moment like he's deciding whether or not he's going to go back to sleep or misbehave. Just trying to make him take his dummy, and hopefully that will stop any tantrums and he'll just go back to sleep. We'll quickly find out. So it's gone silent. I'm just kind of hoping that if I'm quiet for a minute, he'll just drop off. He's really deciding, he's like, I don't know. So, Mama, do I just cause chaos? Or do I behave myself and go back to sleep? I don't know yet. But I can assume, Krytor, when you obviously sent me this piece as a commission, you didn't assume I'd be doing it with a newborn in my arms. I don't think anybody did, to be honest. Even me. But we adapt. Wee Man is just supervising. He is indeed just supervising. He heard Wee Man and he gave me a smile, so I think he agrees with you there, Signed. We need to give him like a role in like the Discord. Like we need to create like a little channel just for him and just put in there Wee Man, the supervisor. Like a mini ultramarine with a spreadsheet. Indeed, he is. It's kind of giving me side-eye right now. So I know you're talking about me, Mama. There we go. This will eventually be green as well, be in that color as well. But I'm gonna do it in sections so I can hold certain sections while I paint others. Sorry, was just giving the wee man his dummy again, hoping that he will settle and stay settled. Right, for the skulls on his pack, the underside is going to be that same green black, and then the actual like top part is going to be an auric armor again. But I'm going to go in with the same green black mix on a slightly thinner, smaller brush first to achieve that look. For this exact reason, for the fact that, you know, I am caring for the wee man and streaming, tonight's dinner is a takeaway. Because there's no way in the world I'm doing this and then cooking. That's a no-no. And I had my best friend round up until like literally right before stream. Otherwise I would have like eaten beforehand. But we were having a nice catch up, so. Throwing stuff. Kind of had to zoom in the camera today just because everything I'm painting today is like so teeny tiny. The only negative is like I'm used to being able to like bring the image or the thing close to the screen to focus, and I don't need to bring it as close when it's this low, so I really need to just kind of focus on creating a bit of distance there. Right, auric armor now for the skulls. I think the auric armor just works really, really good. Really well with the green. Anybody who is tuning in to the stream but not in the chat, absolutely fine. It's lovely to have you here. If you weren't here at the beginning of my stream and you've just joined, welcome. If you want to kind of see us more, then obviously subscribe to the channel. That'd be amazing. We do a lot of content. We stream most days and we post videos twice a week. And if you have Discord and like to join our Discord community, then please feel free to join our Discord. The link is in the description down below. We have a lot of fun over there and it's a small community slowly growing, so we'd love it if you could join us. If you haven't already, please like the video just to please the algorithm gods. You'll be able to hear some baby noises going on. The banner's the scariest bit for me, that's why I wanted it sent off, lol. No worries at all. I completely understand. It's like it's so much detail and obviously it's so flat, but you can't leave it flat. So I completely get that, but I'll be using a very small brush and I'll be taking my time with it. So I'll make sure I can do it to the best of my ability for you, Krytor. Like the worst case scenario, if this takes me a couple of extra days just to make sure that that detail is perfect, then I will. But I'm just going to have a look at the photo of Azreal. I'm then going to show it to the camera and you can let me know if there's anything in particular about the banner that you want or you don't want. Just because I don't know colour scheme wise what kind of thing you might like, if you want it to be changed at all from the original. I have faith, don't worry. Good, I'm glad. I think that's Wee Man saying he also has faith, but so most of the banner is black, which makes it a lot easier. So this is what we are working with for the banner. It's black with the main gun mill being green with some whitish grey wings. The sword through the middle is in a red colour. Are you happy with that colour scheme or would you prefer it to look a different way? It's going to be a case of I think of a lot of touching up with the banner just to make sure it's perfect, but I'd rather do a lot of touch-ups and get it perfect than you know, rush it. And then if you have any ideas, let me know. Maybe the gold sword purple. Yep, absolutely no worries. Red sword purple, I mean, absolutely fine. I was thinking of doing the sword in purple and dropping to say ahoy. Hello book, how are you doing? I'm going to do the sword in purple and then I was going to do, like we did with your, the melts on your, on Azreal, I'll do this in purple as well. And I might do the outer edges in purple, maybe. But there'll be some purple incorporated into this. I'll use the same purple that we used for Azreal, so it's all tied together. Are you happy with the main body of the guy being green? Or do you prefer it in a different colour? If it was green, I would use Caliban green. So it would be quite dark green anyway. And for purple, a reminder that we used before was Nagaroth Knight. That's the purple I'd be using. I'm just going to get out my smaller brushes actually whilst I wait for a reply on that one. Because I think the purple was actually a really, really nice touch last time. I really liked adding the purple. Because I wouldn't naturally immediately think for purple. And it worked really, really well. Just a little reminder whilst we're here also, Krytor, of what your base looks like. So this is Azrael's base. Azrael himself will stand about there, roughly. And then on there we'll also add the Watcher when he's finished. And we'll go from there. I do apologize if you can hear baby noises. He's kind of just fighting he's deciding whether or not he wants to stay asleep. And right now he's succumbing to slumber. So I hope he stays that way. For my sake, more than anything. And also because I actually want to get into the stream and be more than an hour in before I have to say I'm done because of baby. But regardless, we will try our best and see what he allows us to do. Okay, I'm going to go in with the purple and I'm going to start adding some details now, and then I'll go around the outside with black, just because if I go in with black all over I will lose certain details and I don't want to lose the details before I've even painted them in. I don't want it to look bizarre, so I'm going to go in with the details first and then we'll go with the black background. But we'll start with the purple and we'll go in with Nagaroth Knight. I know this isn't like super clear on the camera because I went in with Wraithbone, but as I add the details it will become even clearer, so the details will become clear with time. Sorry, I was in PvP, but I missed. No worries. I honestly have full faith in you. Do what you think would look good for the rest of the model. Awesome. No worries, Krytor. I will do just that, and I promise I will do him justice just for you. The wee man is currently doing what he does normally when I record, which is just as I'm like getting like a fine tiny paintbrush, he'll just start thrashing around and I suddenly just kind of sit there and hold my breath for a second. So I just put the paintbrush down for just a moment, just because I don't want to be touching the model and then suddenly... Apologies if you can hear, that's another motorbike zooming down the road not far from my house. Everyone's very noisy today. Hope it stayed in focus. squeaks you can hear is currently the wee man fighting sleep, if you can hear that. He's like really scared of missing out on whatever I'm doing. He's like, Mum, but you're doing stuff. If you guys have, is he trying to stay awake? He kind of is. He's got one eye closed, one eye open right now. Go to sleep, wee man. Just go to sleep. 100% agree. He's been really good today. Like overall, he's been sleeping for the most part. But I think now that he's awake, he's like, nope, I want to stay awake, please. Is he fighting sleep? He 100% is fighting it. He's just like, nope, I'm missing out on stuff. I can't miss out on stuff. So he's like half-lidded looking up at me now like, but Mum, you're doing something and I want to be involved. Not realising it's really not that interesting for him. Like, I'm leaning over him painting something because he's attached in a sling like to my person, so I have full use of both of my hands. But and he's using my arm as a pillow. It's like the arm that's currently holding this is at an angle so that his head is resting on it as a pillow as well. So I'm really trying to multitask here. Trying to keep baby content. Oh, he has FOMO? Major FOMO. 100% has major FOMO. You can't miss out on anything. If he does, he gets really upset with me. I am going to go in with that Caliban green for the body of the... Oh, I didn't see you there, side. Hi! Yeah, like he's, we're slowly getting close to the point where we can start to sleep train him. But we've got like another 4 weeks before we can sleep train him. Which is going to be a challenge in itself. It's easier said than done, obviously. But hopefully we can get it into a routine where during the time that I'm streaming is the hours where he's asleep. So that way then, if Mr. Ned is away, like he is obviously quite frequently, that damn top chat thing, it's so annoying. It really is. I don't know why they have a top chat and live chat. It doesn't really make any sense to me. I still don't know why signed only appears in one and not the other. It really is weird. It's really weird to me. Top chat is to filter out spam and such. I guess we're lucky that we don't really get any spam now. Like when I was streaming to like Twitch and this at the same time, which obviously didn't go down very well because I wasn't really getting much attention on Twitch, except from bots. So that's the only time I've really had any issues with, you know, people not really wanting to be here and spamming stuff. slowly coming together. Having a look at more colours to kind of get another feel for the figure. Okay. Little adjustment for the wee man. Hopefully he allows me to and stays asleep. Sorry, buddy. Am I good? I think I'm good. I think he's allowing me to adjust for now. Right. For the wings, because I don't want them to be white, I'm just throwing my paints everywhere. I'm going to go in with Ultho and Grey. And I'm going to go over the wings in that. Is it another lovely day in good old Kiwi land there? Book. I'll probably tell the answer is probably yes. Just a wild stab in the dark. I'm saying I'm probably right. If this grey isn't like super noticeable now, because the background is so pale. A lovely crisp autumn day. Beautiful. Autumn is definitely my favourite time of the year. For me, it's autumn, spring, winter, then summer. Mostly because I am of English, Scottish, and Irish descent. Therefore, me and the sun are not friends. So in summer, I basically play a game of hide from the sun. The heat I can deal with, it's just the fact that I get sunburn, and when I get sunburn, it's always a really bad sunburn. No matter how much Factor 50 I put on. So I call a successful summer based on how many times I got burnt that summer. Hey Sam, I have some Scottish and Swedish lineage. Yeah, I think you feel me there on that one. It's yeah, I'm first generation English technically. I'm half English, half Irish, and it's like somewhere down the line we're a little bit of Scottish, but mostly half English, half Irish. My mum said this weekend she was pale. She's still more tan than I am. I am unseasoned chicken. I am Casper the Friendly Ghost White, and as you can see, my veins are very, very blue as a result of that. So, yes, I'm, especially in winter months right now as well, so I'm like extra pale because my skin has been covered up by good old sweatshirts and stuff like that for the past 3 months straight. And prior to that, it was like long sleeve t-shirts and dresses and stuff in the autumn. So my skin hasn't really seen the sun in about 6 months. Bar like maybe like the 3/4 length sleeves or something like that. That's about as much as my skin has seen. Exactly my shade of mayonnaise. The UV exposure here and in us is really strong as well. Burn time is like 15 minutes. I've heard that. You need like the extra strong factor 50, and obviously, even if it's hot, you still need to obviously be careful with layering and stuff like that. You need as strong as you can get for factors. The sun, for any sun protection. Like, I just really struggle when it comes to sun. But at the same time, I also have a condition called Raynaud's disease, which I don't know if you guys know what that is. Just grabbing some oranges and some reds for the flames. Something with cold? It is. So, it's to do with like blood circulation around the body. So when I get really cold, my fingertips will go really pale, and then suddenly they'll go blue. Not heard of that one. Yeah, so my skin will just go blue. I will turn like blue and purple, and other than that, my skin will be completely white, and it will just move up my arms and up my legs. And yeah, it's a blood circulation thing. So I know when I'm cold because the beds of my fingertips will go completely purple. And then it will start to just creep up my hands, and then suddenly I have like blue fingers up to like here. So it's quite interesting. And your fingers can go like really numb and all that stuff. Oh, my mum has that. Yeah, it's more common than people think. It's quite a common one. Yeah, I heard of that. Yeah. So it is in fact affected by the cold. The thing is though, it starts for me like on one side of my body and works its way over. So it starts on like the right side of my body, goes up my right leg, up my right arm, and then like across and then down my left arm, which is quite bizarre to me. But again, it's like blood circulation, so I guess it's not that bizarre. Based around like the bottom part of this is actually some flames. So I'm just gonna go in with a tiny bit of red and then some orange and just kind of give that kind of flame effect to the base. For the red, I've got Evil Sun's Scarlet. If the wee man will sit still for me, because I kind of need my hand to be steady. Yeah, so I have that condition, which was actually made a lot worse during my pregnancy. For some reason, I kept going blue a lot during pregnancy. And now since then, I've only had like blue like nail beds. So since pregnancy has ended, it's got a lot better, which is good. This is the first time I've actually had to paint like a banner in such detail. For the orange, I'm actually going to start with squig orange because I don't want it to be like too vibrant. And if it's not bright enough, I'll then go in with Troll Slayer orange, but I'm going to go in with squig first. And I am going to go in whilst it's still wet to try and like blend the colours together a little bit. Because I'm only going to have like touches of orange. I'm not going to go wild with it. We're going to go till 1:45 today, guys. Because we started a little bit later than I normally do. So instead of finishing at past, we'll finish at 1:45. So we're only approaching the first hour now, so... But that is the plan, is to go to 1:15, or 1:45. Oh no, we've been for an hour and a half. My brain is completely fried today. Yeah, so... Oop, threw my paintbrush. You can kind of see like a loose flame effect there on the bottom. Sword, his outfit is all in green and his wings have actually been painted very light grey. The rest of the banner is going to be black. And then from there I can paint his hands grey. And this is actually like a red colour, this banner on the top, but I'm going to do it in gold because I think it would look better in gold. But let's get some black for now. And we'll start on that. And I can start picking out the details after that and making it look a little bit more defined. So for black, of course, it's going to be Abaddon black. I think at this rate, because we're going to do the base on this and we've done the base on our Watcher tonight, we're probably going to base these today. And then tomorrow we'll shade and highlight. And by that point, everything is finished. And it'll just be a case of gluing it onto the base. So you guys will most likely be finished with this by tomorrow. That would be the plan anyway. I think the plan, that would be, I'd rather push through tomorrow and get it all done tomorrow. Because if I try and drag it out to any more streams than that, it would literally be like a 10-minute stream. And at that point, it would not be worth anybody's time to stay for 10 minutes. So... Awesome. Yeah, so it's very, very nearly done, Krytor. Very nearly done indeed. Base just needs a little touch up and it's good to go. There we go. Base looked good earlier, mate. I haven't attempted any real basing yet myself. See, I am really terrible for basing. So one of my aims for this year is to, like, in addition to using like contrast paints and getting better at that, is to do more bases. So saying that, my tutorial video going out tomorrow is in fact a basing tutorial. So one, it's just, I'm going to start doing like really simple bases again and, you know, work my way up from there. But also it gives me an excuse to try out techniques, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And it encourages me that when I then do my own pieces, to actually give it a go and actually try and make the bases look, you know, half decent, instead of just slapping on some paint and going, that'll do. There's like some arrows going up and down this, but I'm going to use gold to highlight those to bring out, like I'm going to do with the banner at the top. I know I said I wanted to do lava bases. I changed my mind. Glitter bases is the way to go. I have to force myself to start with the base, otherwise I don't do it. I think that's fair. But I spend so much time on the figures sometimes that by the time I get to the base, I'm like, I don't have the energy to do this. I prefer the base over the model. Yeah, Mr. Nerd is like all bases all the way. Like, he'll spend sometimes days thinking up how he wants the bases to look. And then sometimes spend days doing the base, if he can. Depends on the size of the base, really. Just making a bit more black here. I think for me it's all about like new techniques. So like if I'm practicing a technique, I want to move on to that. I don't want to be focusing on a base. So sometimes I will literally like neglect the base in favor of doing like a highlight or a contrast or something like that. But the only way to get better at something is to keep trying and doing it. So that is the plan for this year. It's like contrast paints and basing. Those are like my big two for 2026. My love at base is slap on some Astro Granite and dry brush. Yeah, to be honest, I'm all for that. I'm like a Stirland mud kind of girl. Like slap on some Stirland mud, maybe dry brush if I have the time. If not, some Astro Granite, and sometimes just leave it at that. It depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I don't even dry brush because I just get really bored. Sometimes I'm like, no, I've had enough of this painting now. I just want to be done with the model. And then we just slap a little bit of paint on the base and do the rim of the base and be done with it. Which is strange because I actually do enjoy doing the tutorial videos where I just do the bases. I've got to focus on work now. Take care, all. Take care, book. Have a lovely rest of your day. I'm just going to do a little bit of close-up for you. The banner is coming together nicely. What I may have to do is any of like the fine detail stuff I may have to do kind of like off stream, because I have to be really, really close to it, and I can't really do that with an infant in the way. And without, you know, taking it off screen, which I'm not going to do. So there may be like some small gaps around stuff, but I will get those sorted. I'll just have to be really, really close to it to see it, because my vision is not the best. So I will need to be a bit closer to get those without making a mess of the work I've already done. Yeah, I hope overall, Crowder, you feel like we've done this figure justice for you. Obviously, I know it's not completely finished yet, but I hope you feel like we've done it justice. And it's turned out similar to how you kind of envisioned him. He looks amazing. Good, I'm glad you think so. I really enjoyed painting him, to be fair. He's really, really fun. He's turned out really, really well. It's made me want to improve myself and learn some new techniques. I think I know I won't put the effort into getting to your level, which is for Gen troops, is fine, but I don't think I'll touch heroes. I think I'm only like, really, really glad that it's obviously inspired you, Krator. But like I said, if you have anything else you want me to want us to paint, we are more than happy to. Like, as much as obviously this is good for the channel and stuff, but it's also, thank you so much once again. I am very grateful and happy. I hope the gift in exchange comes in good use. It absolutely will. Like I said, Crouch, you didn't need to send us anything at all, but we really appreciate it nonetheless. It will 100% be put to good use. I can assure you of that. Like, I've got an entire combat patrol. I'm tempted to try it out on my combat patrol and do a basing of a colour and see how it goes. So I'm already kind of getting ideas as to what I might use it for. Dark Angels Combat Patrol. It is indeed Dark Angels Combat Patrol. That's the next big project. Just to have started building them. The Blade Guard are part done. 2 Hellblazers built and the Gravis Captain done. Amazing. I don't like how I did the Grav Captain. Oh dear. Well, that's not great. Now I'm just moving on to painting the back of this. I have to be so careful now with the back because it's all just one solid colour. Built another assault Tammy whilst work was quiet too. Ooh. It's one of the perks of working from home, isn't it? Sure, I'm part based on the road and rest at home, although in the London office Friday, but that's just once a month. That's not too bad, actually. Seems like quite a nice balance. When my caseload is normal, I will no longer have the time. Yeah, I think it's one of those things you've got to kind of take the opportunities whilst you can to be able to work on it when you can and how you can. I think I'm going to do a combination of 2 different golds, and for the main stand part of the banner, I'm going to go with some retributed armor. I'm probably going to just paint that and leave it at that for today, because that should more or less wrap up the stream. Again, anybody who's kind of watching the stream, thank you very much for tuning in. If you haven't already liked the stream, we'd love to kind of show some love for the show, for the stream, and please the algorithm gods, that'd be great. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. We'd love to have you as part of our little community. And if you have Discord and you have any interest in sharing with us your lovely Warhammer stuff, then please feel free to join the Discord. The link is in the description down below. We have a small community, slowly growing, and we'd love to have you there. I really appreciate everybody who's actually tuned in today and obviously dealt with the very start of this being a little bit stop and start with Wee Man fighting sleep big time. He seems to have like surrendered to it for now. But regardless, I appreciate people being patient when we had that slower start. Especially because like randomly putting up for like the first 5-10 minutes of the stream was just me going like, 1 second, be right back, like wrangling baby Nurgling. Because he was just staring at me and being like, no mum, I know you said you're going to stream tonight, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I can't know if I don't know if I've decided you can do that or not. But eventually he's been kind enough to let me, so thank you, baby, for letting me stream. Even if it was a rocky start to begin with. You didn't put it in your request in threefold. No, I did not. Therefore, you know, we had to have an argument about it. I had to do a presentation, I had to like a PowerPoint presentation on why I needed him to cooperate with me rather than against me today. Like, you know, it was I think I'm under some kind of like peer review or something like that. Babies are very particular about paperwork. Oh yeah, definitely. Especially Wee Man. Because after all, he is a Primarch. When we spoke to our GP yesterday, because he had like his general like health checkup, he was like checking him over. He was like, "Oh my goodness!" He's like, "He's strong, isn't he?" I was like, "Yep, he's very strong." It's like, I do in fact have a very strong baby. So even the doctor was shocked by like his strength as an 8-week-old boy. He's just like, no, I don't do things normally. I'm built different. Question is, which Primarch would he be? And on that note, we will leave it for today. So, if it wants to focus, this is what we've done so far with the banner. He's been lifting in the womb, absolutely. This is what we've done with the banner. It needs like a few little edges cleaned up, which I will do off stream just because I need the figure to be basically right in front of my eyes for me to see it. But that is nearly done. And here is our Watcher base painted. Tomorrow he will be shaded and highlighted. Same with this will be shaded and highlighted tomorrow. And then it will be a case of attaching everything to Azreal's base. Ooh. And that'll be it. That'll be Azreal finished. And ready to go back to his rightful owner, Krytor. I have to go. Thanks again. No worries, Krytor. Thank you again for staying for the stream. Thank you, Signed, and everybody else who has joined and is watching from the sidelines. Thank you, Book. Obviously, Mr. Nerd, thank you for joining. And JPB, thank you so much for joining as well. We really appreciate everybody who kind of joined today and was very patient with me and the Wee Man. Overall, I would call that quite a successful stream regardless. But hopefully, it could be even better tomorrow. So, good night, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.